Today's modern love column in the New York Times presents something small but quietly powerful, a collection of tiny love stories, reader-submitted accounts of no more than 100 words each. For writers, for moments, and together they add up to something far larger than their word counts suggest. The first story comes from Julia Indichova. After one of her father's rages, 6-year-old Julia made a deal with him. She would tug at his sleeve, and he would remember his promise to stop. He agreed, stroking her hair. She believed, at 6, that she could save him. Years later she learned about the labor camps, the prison, the losses her father had survived. She came to understand that grief does not bend to promises. But what stays with her isn't the failure of the plan, it's that they were both trying so hard. Then there's Shantran, who grew up in a world where love and shame felt like the same word. He tensed at the sight of men holding hands. He stayed silent when friends talked about their crushes. Love, outside of family and friendship, felt like something he couldn't afford to imagine. But when he came out at 23, something shifted. He learned to love other people, and himself. And as he embraced his sexuality, the shame shrank. What replaced it was pride. The third story, the one that gives this collection its title, belongs to Judith Reitman. Her mother, Georgette, is a charming Frenchwoman who has been a widow for 6 years. She has a boyfriend named Jacob, witty and sociable, a good cook, and a widower of more than 20 years. They are both longtime New Yorkers, living in separate apartments in the same Upper West Side building. Every day they meet for coffee or to discuss literature. Jacob wants to move in together. Georgette dismisses the idea with a wave of her manicured hand. "I don't want an old man," she says. Jacob is 102. Georgette is 101. Finally, Michael Nichols writes about a third date, walking back from the Art Institute of Chicago. He told his companion, Elizabeth, that he wanted something casual, room to grow, space to become someone new. Elizabeth gently pushed back. "When you commit to someone," she said, "you're really committing to 7 or 8 different people, because you both keep changing." "People are like flowers," she told him. "They bloom differently over time, so fall in love with the roots, with their core." He felt himself fall right then. And every time they've changed and bloomed since, he says, he feels it again. 4 stories. A daughter who believed love could outpace grief. A young man who turned shame into pride. A 101-year-old who refuses to settle. And a man who learned to love not a fixed person, but a whole unfolding life. That's all for today, thanks for listening.